Hi everyone, I am Riccardo Chiarion and welcome to my YouTube channel. These are little tips that I would like to share with you. So these are not lessons, this is really important to understand. I just would like to give some ideas, something to think about, maybe something that you can use to practice some topics in a different way on guitar. So these are not lessons, this is really important, okay? And today I would like to talk about diminished arpeggios and how to try not to be confused when we play them in a song or during our improvisations. A lot of times I've seen that when we are improvising, my students and me, when we are improvising, the diminished chord sometimes is the most difficult because we don't really know the diminished chord in the same way that we know other chords. And this, I think, happens because we usually don't practice. We don't practice the diminished chord in the same way like we practice the other chords. And this is because it's a cyclic chord. So you know that C diminished is the same like E flat diminished, the same like G flat diminished, and the same like A diminished. So when I'm playing C diminished, it's like if I was playing other three diminished chords. And sometimes this is something that seems to be easy. And so we don't practice the diminished chord in each key. But I would like to give you a little suggestion about this. So if we start practicing the diminished arpeggio just adding one note, for example the major ninth, or the perfect 11th, or the minor 13th, or the major 7th, just one of these notes, not all of them together, the diminished chord starts to be different in each key. So for example, if I'm going to play a C diminished, adding the ninth, the major ninth, I will play C, D, E flat, G flat, B double flat or A, and C. So but if I would like to play E flat diminished, which is the same diminished chord, but adding the ninth to E flat, it becomes like this: E flat, F, G flat, A or B double flat, and C, and then E flat one more time. So as you can see, now I'm playing the F note as the ninth for E flat, while before I was playing D as the major ninth for C diminished. So this is something that is going to change the rules of the game, and in this way we can start practicing diminished chords in each key, just adding one single note, the ninth for example, or the 11th, or the minor 13th, or the major 7th. So for example, something that I really suggest you to try to do is playing the diminished arpeggios, just one octave from root to root, adding the ninth, the major ninth, and start to do this in a box, like we previously studied in other tips, and just going up chromatically. So starting from A, for example, I play the diminished chord in A, adding the ninth. Then I go to B flat diminished, always adding the ninth. Then I go to B diminished. And now I go to C diminished, which is the same like A diminished, where I start from. But it's different now because I'm adding the 9, the major ninth for C, not for A. So it is like this. D flat, D natural, E flat, E natural, F diminished, F sharp, G diminished, A flat, A one more time, B flat, B natural, C diminished, and D flat diminished. Well, this is the concept that I would like to share with you today, and it's really easy, so we just have to practice this. But in this way we start having a kind of pentatonic, diminished pentatonic to play in each key. And then we can do the same, adding the perfect 11th, the minor 13th, or the major 7th. And I hope these tips could be useful. And if you like it, please share, like, and subscribe if you are not yet a subscriber. And see you next tip, and have fun playing and practicing guitar. Bye.